Hello there and welcome back to StreetSmart Play. In this instruction video I want to introduce to you this beautiful City of Rights Goose board game. This panel is also a part of the All Children All Rights toolkit on children's rights. Now, most importantly, what do you need to start to play this activity? You will need, of course, to print the City of Rights panel. You will need a die to play this game. You will also need bottle caps, one bottle cap per player. You will need a smartphone to scan the QR code if you want to listen to the audio story related to this panel. And last but definitely not least, it's also a good idea to print the general overview panel on children's rights, because there will be a lot of information on this panel that might be useful while playing the City of Rights game. Now, if you've collected all these materials, you're good to go and you're ready to start the game. So let's have a look at how to play this activity. Before you start playing the game, it might be useful to, with your smartphone, scan the QR code on the panel to learn a little bit more about the City of Rights. This is especially useful if you want to learn the children a little bit more about the different buildings that you can find in the city. So feel free to listen to the audio story of the Major to learn a little bit more about the context and the environment of the City of Rights. Now, after listening to the audio story, you can gather all the pawns of the players here near the Major's office at the starting point of the game. Then you can roll a die to see which player has the highest number, and this player can then start the game. In fact, the game is really easy because you just need to roll a die, you move the number of indicated spaces forward, for example 3, and then if you land on a square with an image, then you need to perform or conduct a specific task related to that square. Now, the main objective of the game, of course, is to be the first one who can complete the board game and ends back here at the Major's office. He or she will be the winner of the game. Now, let me explain to you a little bit more in detail what the different images on the squares mean. You will recognize some of these images as well from well-known board games you might know or you might be familiar with. For example, the first one over here, you see two bottle caps, and it means that you can swap or switch bottle caps with another player that is playing the game. You'll also see some green squares and red squares with a children's right on it. Here you need to find a situation in the City of Rights where that specific right is respected, then it's a green square. Or you need to find a situation in the City of Rights where that specific right is violated with the red squares. So you'll see there are a lot of different situations here inside the circles, which will give you some situations related to children's rights. You'll also notice there are some objects along the goose board, and these objects symbolize activity squares. It means that you need to, for example, with the ball, need to do a specific game or an activity, or there is a protest sign where you need to come up with a protest chant or something. So here you need to perform that specific activity. Another type of squares you will see along your way through the City of Rights are the different characters, like Frederick over here. If you land on a square like this, you just need to find this specific character in the City of Rights. You'll also find some other more well-known squares from other game boards, like for example this dice, which means that you can just roll again, you have another turn in the game board. Or here the hand, which means you need to skip a turn and wait for the other players to have their turn again before you can continue your path. Another type of squares that you might encounter along the way are the dimension squares. You know, in children's rights there are 4 different dimensions. If you land on a dimension square, you also need to find a situation in the City of Rights that links to that specific dimension. And then I think I covered most of the games, most of the squares that you will encounter along the goose board game. If you need some more explanation, all the instructions are also to be found in the manual form, but I hope at least that you have a basic idea on how you can play this goose board of the City of Rights. Feel free to try it out yourself. I wish you best of luck and most of all, a lot of fun while playing this activity. And then I hope to see you again very, very soon for some more instruction videos on StreetSmart Play. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.